1928, right before the stock market crash, with all of the wealth being in 1% of the population, and then the crash. The same exact thing happened in '07 and '08, but this time they did it with the houses. They figured everybody thought a house would never lose value. And that's exactly what they preyed on. The same way they gaslighted people with stocks that went up for no reason back in 1919, 1925, they did the same thing with the housing market. They told everyone this will never, ever go down. And then we know what happened in '07 and '08. Good so far?
Sounds good.
Okay.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm just kidding. All right. So that's rolling.
Now, would I be just segueing into the answers here?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna ask
Good.
the question just so I can, when I edit it, I
Good,
can pay
no
attention to
problem.
it. You're good. You're good.
Let's
I'm gonna
go.
pull a chair up and we're gonna
Yeah.
get this shit going.
Couldn't agree. Move the other chair out of the way. Move this chair with everything on it out of the way. Move your box.
What am I doing this?
Yeah, because, okay, never mind.
What am I doing wrong?
Nothing.
Is this
You know, I'm just anal.
you want
I'm a
this?
designer.
Because this one's a better chair? Or is
No,
it-
no. I'm just a designer. Like when I see things all over the place, it makes my body itch. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
That's why I hate being in my house.
There's two types of successful people, I believe. There's millions of times of failures. Right? Their failures are unstoppable, right? But there are failures. Two types of successful people.
Anal expulsive.
No, people
And-
who open up their desktop browser and everything's in a fucking folder. And there's people like me who open up their site browser and everything is. So it's sort of whatever makes you
Work.
work, and that's fine. But let me. Structured organization is not my cup of tea. I'm like the let the balloon go and I'll control it to where I need it to be.
Fellini.
Works. But that's why there's 32 flavors in the fucking ice cream store. Your fucking cunt hair too bright. You're at 400. I want you at 800 so you match. You're too exposed, which means not the right balance. I want you at 130. I'm like touch toning fucking. This is like crazy to me. Let's go back. I like where it was. I changed my mind. 400. Back the other way. What? You're like, I just want to talk.
Because you go 800, 400, 600, 800, 600, 400. And then we go back to 600, we start.
Well, there are people who know the fucking science behind it. That person's not me. Okay. You're recording.
Okay.
So this is Pat's interview with scripted questions. Can you clap once in front of your face?
Sure.
All right. All right. Okay. First question, Pat. Have markets been manipulated today more than ever?
Today, markets have definitely been manipulated more than they have been in the last 80 or 90 years. But in the early days of the stock market, 1910, 1920, people like Joseph Kennedy, John F. Kennedy's father, had a great quote because he was a stockbroker in one of those white shoe houses. And his quote was, when the shoe shine guy has a market tip, it's too popular, it's too broad, so they would pull it back. These are the guys, the early days, who started the pump and dump, the gaslighting of the typical investor. That was prior to the first crash, as outlined in Robert Reich's bridge chart of 1926, 7, 8 to 1929, the first Great Depression, of course. So today, the same thing had been done, but it had been done with the housing market as opposed to just the stock market, because they figured no one would ever believe that housing prices would tumble. And that's exactly what they bet on. They bet on everyone believed that housing prices would continue to soar and go up. And one of the interesting things I learned is that a lot of the investors that they sold these bad junk bonds, CDOs, swaps to were international, were out of the country. They wanted to invest in the housing market. So they bundled them, truly made them into junk, sold them, and then when the housing market collapsed from being over manipulated, international markets suffered as well as national, as domestic. So has it been manipulated? 2 times in history, tremendously manipulated, prior to the Great Depression and prior to the Great Recession.
Okay, you're fine. Okay. What is the new economy, and is the growth totally digital?
That's one of the reasons for this last ditch effort. The new economy, the digital economy that's going on today, is obvious in things such as Macy's closing, Sears closing, JCPenney closings. Some people say no, they're just correcting and reorganizing. They're not. They're not. I have some friends who work inside of that marketplace. If you look at what Bezos just did with buying Whole Foods, the joke was he said, Alexa, I want some Whole Foods. Buying Whole Foods, and they did. The reason is he's trying to broaden Amazon's base of product digitally. People love getting Amazon boxes delivered to their houses. So is the new economy digital? Yeah. Uber, Facebook, Alibaba, Amazon, Airbnb. These are all digital spaces. None of them own the product. They store it maybe, but they don't own it. Typically they drop ship it, and that comes from a digital app, a digital product. You look, you browse, you order, you buy, it gets delivered. Every single Christmas season for the last 8 years has shown double-digit growth in online sales. Nordstrom's is opening up a store where there's actually no clothing. There's just people there to service and help you pick out what you may want. You order it online and it gets delivered to you. So if the real question is the new economy digital? You really have to ask yourself, when was the last time you bought a newspaper, a magazine, kind of really left the house to go to the mall and just walk around and have some frozen yogurt and spend that day? You're finding different ways to spend your day. And you're simply ordering online. This Christmas season, I think 2017 to 18, this end of year buying season, you're probably going to see between a 20 and 30% growth in online buying. So yeah, it is a digital economy.
Okay, hold on 2 seconds.
How am I doing with the back and forth, the answering?
Good. I mean, so far.
Much better energy than the other day, huh?
Yeah, but I think it was.
Oh yeah, go put, yeah.
Not the clip here, the ticking. It only happens. I don't know if I
The average person's not going to hear that, but.
The only thing is, you're talking more into this camera,
Okay,
but like this is my camera I'm more comfortable with.
sure.
So I'm gonna move to you so you talk a little bit more.
If you would have just told me that, I would have.
Yeah, it's okay.
Basically,
I thought it was
should
gonna
be-
look the
I
same.
should be talking right here. See that handle hanging off?
Yeah.
That's where I should be looking.
Yep, that's
Right.
why it's there. The only reason.
No, really.
Definitely doesn't do anything else.
Do me a favor.
Yeah, punch myself in the face.
Can you ever say that in any way, shape, or form?
Just kidding.
Because of, let me see if I can do it. I don't want to get up because I think I'm going to wind up falling. Do you see that thing of soda right there?
Yeah.
When you go around, just grab one and throw it to me.
Do you want water or you want the
No,
seltzer?
I definitely want seltzer. Thank you. I want the blue M&Ms.
You want a full bag of brown? That was Anzi, I believe.
Was it really?
You only wanted brown M&Ms. Okay. So you didn't move here. And you... Okay. You sit back where you were. Okay, so you went down over
Better, right?
here. Yeah.
This is good that you're changing it.
There. Everything's still rolling. Okay. If you look to the talk to the
Sure.
handle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right there? Perfect, right?
No, there's. Oh, okay. I'm like, why is there a giant wire? There. Check it back a little bit. We're gonna get a little bit more of you.
It's okay.
But this is at 4K and this is at 10. So
That frame is better.
yeah, I can zoom
I got it
in later.
on screen.
All right, we're good. It's like you nothing. It's weird. So I'm used
It's
to talking.
weird when talent knows what you're doing on the other side, right?
Doesn't happen often, but documentaries